Hi, for today's teardown we have this. So it happens sometimes you see something on eBay, you order it and you expect to have something that big, and you finally receive an enormous parcel with something much bigger than expected. Yes, it happens. So what is this? I believe it is a part of a huge aircraft electrical harness tester. They are huge assemblies with several racks that will connect. You will connect every plug of the aircraft harness on it, and it will do a complete test of the harness. So this must be one of many boxes to connect the aircraft, and probably it goes into a huge rack. So we have here an enormous box with plugs on most sides. We will have a look at every side and then have a look inside. We will start with the easier one, the only blank side here, obviously a huge access panel. And on the bottom, mostly two big metal or plastic feet and two handles. So these were the easy ones. Now we will do the most interesting ones. So we will start with the top one. So first you see this is the back of the unit. There is a metal assembly here. Quite interesting. It will be the last side we'll check. So it is called Intellitest, part number 0821161, serial number 172. I did a search on Google and I found nothing about Intellitest as a brand of test equipment. And here there is something interesting. It is written, this unit has been factory aligned and requires no further adjustment. Why? We will find out later. It seems it is a slot-in unit you will insert into a bigger unit. So here we have first bunch of connectors. So I did purchase it mainly for the connectors and in particular for the connector caps, which are very hard to find. So in fact it is quite a Russian roulette, this thing. Either it is full of electronics or it is just full of wires. And it is much bigger than expected. I will probably not be able to keep it, at least not in a single part. So if it is full of electronics, it will go in my collection. But if it is just wires, I will probably take it apart. So because I was interested in these connector covers, and you can see each time very nice, nicest quality of connector you can expect with gold contacts. Some precious metal recovery YouTubers will love it. So a lot of pins here. The brand is Amphenol on these connectors, so only the best quality. I will not open them all, but I believe some are much different if I remember correctly. So still small contacts here. And they are screw-on connectors, not every day you see them. You will notice also security Torx screws. So if I go to the bottom part of this side, we have here RF interface adapter with a broad arrow, so it comes from the Royal Air Force apparently. And here, interestingly enough, the serial number is 002. NATO stock number, one modification, warning for 115 volt, so it is the aircraft power supply voltage. metric on Imperial hardware, and I should have noticed this on the eBay photo. Yes, we are not far from 25 kilos, which is quite insane. And I have to tell you, my YouTube studio is at the second floor, and I had to climb 2 floors with this thing in the staircase, and it was quite dangerous, so I have no intention of putting it downstairs again in one single piece. Okay, so this was the first side. I will put it back on the normal position, because here we have more connectors, obviously. We have 2 very nice quality coax ones, as you can see. Here we have DMC connectors. So each one is labeled with its own number, as you can see. And also you will notice the safety wire everywhere almost. Interesting. We have here huge. This one here I did forget. Probably the power supply input here, because you can see the massive silver contacts here. But here we have a huge multi-pin connector, and they are all of this kind on this side, I believe. Yes. So an insane number of wires going in here. Larger contacts here, but you get the idea. Quite absolutely impressive. Here also it is interesting. Very, very fat gold contacts here, short but fat. And this one, another time, the lot of small ones. So I paid 40 British pounds for this device, and I believe it is not even the price of one of the connector caps. We will continue with this side, which has even more impressive connectors. As you can see, these ones are enormous. 2 grounding jacks here. So sadly, in the shipping, given the weight of the thing, it was cracked a little bit, and the 2 connector caps are cracked. The connector itself is not damaged, but the caps, sadly. Brand is Vim. Apparently, I found it is still existing, and it is mostly making railroad connectors. This one is the same kind. Quite amazing. And here we have 2 more of them, but these things, huge multi-pin connectors also. As you can see, I believe not far from 200 contacts each time. So large bus here coming through here, it seems, with this custom cover over it. And also index to make sure you insert the correct plug in it. So this thing has no light, no indicator, no switch, nothing. It's just really a big wiring box. What do we have in the last side? So you can see there is a story about aligning. There is actually this panel with just a cover that will slide out like this, revealing a huge number of golden contacts. So I believe the whole unit will slide in something, and all this contact will mate automatically. It is why you need to have adjustment to mate correctly with the other part. and you can see quite impressive amount of contacts here, unused spots, so maybe for other versions you will have even more of them. Also a lot of unused pins everywhere, some coax here, and all the other ones are just big contacts. I can zoom on them for you. Lot of them. Actually, you will notice also there is something interesting. The material of these connectors, it is not plastic. It seems to be fiberglass material, like a circuit board. So I do not know how they would make this. Probably it is milled from a big block of fiberglass material. They mill it and they do the holes for the pins. Quite impressive. Okay, now time for the big reveal. What do we find in this? Actually, we have Allen screws here, which are a weird imperial size. Luckily enough, I have my box of almost all possible sizes in imperial Allen. It is 9/64 of an inch. So, if this thing is full of electronics, I believe each one of these connectors should be at the end of a slot-in card, slot-in circuit board. We will find out right now. I will undo one and we will see if there is a circuit board coming out or if it is just attached with wires, because I don't have a screwdriver bit of this size. Okay, what do we have? Okay, it is not even coming out because of the wires behind it. A huge number of them apparently. So it seems it might be a box of wires, but we will find out by removing the main access cover. And anyway, I believe if it is possible I will undo each one of the panels to have a better look at what we have. So this can go back together. I will install the protective cover over the pins, and I will now try to undo this panel here, which has a number of security Torx screws. Luckily enough, I have my Brop set of Torx bigs from Banggood. It is really, for Chinese tool, really a good brand. They work really well on a really nice quality. Nothing to complain about it. So I am not a big fan of Torx screws, but the good thing with Torx screws is that you do not have imperial Torx screws, luckily enough. They are not really tight. A number of them. It will be fun to put this back together, obviously. If I put it back together, I will probably do photos for my Flickr account of this thing, as it is quite impressive anyway. So, last screw. And are you ready for the big reveal? Ta-da! Okay. Okay, at least we have some circuit boards, but mostly it seems we have giant wire looms. Look at this, going everywhere to all the connectors. Very, very fat wire looms. Here is the backside with even more of them. quite impressive. You can see they are zip tied together and they are aircraft quality Teflon coating apparently, so only the best quality. We have a little circuit board box here with 3 circuit boards. On the bottom a super tiny transformer here, brown. It is written 115 volts 400 Hz, and on the other side 1 volt 5 milliamperes. Okay, we will have a look quickly at these circuit boards. I think it will be quite fast. First one called the PEC type IR resistor PEC 1. Some resistors apparently, mostly resistors, even one relay by Omron made in Japan, and what seems to be 2 maybe transformers or DC to DC converters, something like this. Issue B, handwritten NATO stock number here, no budge, quite a clean circuit board. Okay, I try to reinsert it. Not that easy, in fact. The second one, this one is obviously a relay board, and yes, it is written relay, more Omron relays with diode each time for the coil. Nice gold contacts here, nothing on the back. Again, very clean PCB, at least. No budge, quite interesting. For some reason it will not go back. Okay, the top one, glass power coated power resistors called again resistor PEC 2. And we have, oh, look at this. Can you see them? 2 blown resistors, completely burned out. Very, very sad condition, these ones. And here it is interesting because these things, you can see 2 wires like this with insulator, and they are called actually transformers. So they might be doing some signal insulation or something like this with only this piece of wire acting like a transformer. Quite surprising. There is a spot for card number 4 which is not populated here, and it is all for this side. So I will reinstall the screws here, and I will try to open the other sides, and we will try to check what we have and how it is made exactly. Okay, 2 screws remaining on this panel. So time for the reveal here. As expected, we have even more wire harness. I try to put more or less vertically for you here. So you can see, yes, the very, very fat wire harness. Everything is populated on these connectors here, quite impressive. Really, really impressive. So, if by any luck I end scrapping this unit, at least it will be a chance for me to use my big cable cutter. I got it in a flea market a few years ago, new in the box. It is a 200 euros worth tool, and I did never really use it. What I will do probably, if the connectors are of a crimped kind, I will keep a piece of wire with them as much as I can in order to keep the connector with their mounted wires. So what do we have in here? We have some interesting stuff. Here we have some Vichy current resistor chance apparently. Vishay VCS 332, 1 ohm at 0.5%. Dead code, no dead code sadly. I did not find any dead code on this thing so far. But they are nice, they must be worth something, this thing. Vishay is an expensive brand, and here we have a box with 2 rigid coax going to this little unit here, which it may be worth to take off and check what we have in here. So let me grab some tools and try to unmount this. Or maybe it is called RFDC, and we have apparently a power supply, so maybe it is some kind of an RF relay. Not sure, so I will unmount it and we will check. Okay, in fact the rigid links did give me some trouble. They are really rigid and will not collaborate so much. And I have some trouble with this part here, which is unscrewing in the both directions at the same time. So we have here mini circuits. This RF something. I will try to undo the cover for you. Okay, mostly capacitor and coils on one resistor maybe. On the other side, there is a little bit more on the other side, but no, I do not see any active component. Just some passive parts. Interesting. So it was this. We only thing requiring further teardown, I believe, in this box. Luckily enough. It is written bias T, so maybe it is just some kind of RF transformer or something like this. So I will reinstall this. We did see everything in this side, I believe. Maybe no, we have a first view here at the back of the cards cage. I did actually miss the insertion on this PCB. It is not done properly. At least you can see it is made in the way you can flip out of open one of the side without having wire harnesses coming from several directions and preventing you to actually open it. It is quite nice. Okay, I'm back. 2 screws remaining here. So just think about the price of such a unit. Because of the amount of parts, the quality of the parts, and the manufacturing assembly behind this. Really, really insane. So will it collaborate? Yes. It will reveal actually here just more back of connectors, nothing in particular. 2 power resistors here, but on standoffs. Most of these connectors are of a crimp kind, you can see, so sadly it will require a very special tool to remove the pins. It is quite annoying because I do not have such tools for now, and they are very particular for each connector kind. Big one here. It is the one with 4 big silver contacts. With this rear piece, they did provide, but not really useful. But it is here. A grounding cable here, and at least we can see better the back of the insertion connectors at the rear of the unit, and all the wires going to them. Quite impressive. On the top of the box with circuit boards. So this wire harness here is just super thick, but it is mostly, as you can see, wires. Okay, we are left with one side to undo, so let's proceed. Okay, as expected, more wires, lots of wires. Here another time a super thick wire harness where we can see some damage apparently from one zip tie pressing against the wires. So bad design here. Also here this is not secured efficiently enough. You can see flying in the breeze. And we have the very big connectors here from the side, and you can see actually most of the pins are not used. Here also, so they are very expensive gold pins but not used, but at least here it looks like they are soldered ones, so it is interesting. Here the 2 big grounding sockets, and 3 very beautiful grounding wire stars here, very nice and serious work, as you can see. But it is not all, because we have, yes, again the back of the card schedule with the 3 wire harness going to each one of the circuit boards. On the circuit board I did not reinsert properly, so this thing is not going to work. And here, about the 2 large rectangular connectors, these ones, you can see actually most of the contacts are not used. It is the same on both of them. Very, I do not know if the camera will render it properly, but really nice gold color here. Super deep, almost orange gold color. All this for maybe 20 wires going on it. Quite a waste of money, really. So they could have left these pins unpopulated, but no, everything is populated for just some wires. Quite amazing. Okay, so I wonder where the weight is in this unit, because really inside it is mostly air. So I believe this pack here in the back is maybe steel actually. No, stainless, not sure. But most of the weight must be here. It seems to be quite thick, this metal. Also obviously in the wires and the connectors, but the inside of the box is empty, apart 3 little boards, and everything else is aluminium, so not that heavy, but we still have a very consistent weight on this thing. Quite amazing. So now the big question, what to do with it? Obviously I will never need it in production, because I am missing the other boxes going together on the huge rack of test equipment behind it, probably. And I have no aircraft wiring loom to test. The box is too big for keeping in storage, in particular with no interesting electronics in it. So sadly enough, and I do not want to climb down 2 floors again with this box, too heavy. So probably I will end taking it apart, but not right now. I want to do photos and everything to keep a track on it. But really impressive. Maybe the nice VK resistors will be sold and possible to sell on eBay. I will keep all of the connector caps for sure, most of the connectors, and I do not know, the aluminium itself will go to the recycling most probably, sadly. And the pins, I am making a box of grab bag of scrap electronics for gold recovery to sell on eBay. So maybe some of the pins from the back here will go in it. I do not need to keep so many gold pins. I will keep some for my own use in making test wire harness for devices and such. But okay, so this was quite something, really. Not expecting an unexpected purchase. I did see it on eBay, and like 5 minutes later I did order it. Sometimes it happens. You can just not resist and not wait to order the thing. And this time at least I had no extra customs to pay because it was Petney Buzz shipping, but sadly Petney Buzz shipping means no tax but some damage, as they made on my anesthesia monitor over time, which was completely destroyed. Okay, so but I did not complain as it was not expensive. And anyways, these connector caps seem to be quite brittle, quite light material compared to the other ones, which are apparently very strong. These ones are not so great. Maybe some zinc or zamac or something like this. Die cast metal, but not brittle metal, not aluminium. As you can see, it did crack pretty well, but the hull here of the connector is not damaged. And if I want to scrap this thing, I will need to figure out how to undo these absolutely enormous bolts. They must be 60 millimeters or something like this. Absolutely giant bolts. I do not have a wrench that big, surely enough. And it will be a quite expensive tool purchase for sure. Okay, so I hope you did enjoy this teardown of this thing. I found no information about it, just I suppose it is for testing avionics or aircraft wiring harness. But really a nice and unexpected eBay find. So, thanks for watching, bye bye.